Alright, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to make a folding knife. And not so much make completely, but restore. We're going to take apart the handles, we're going to kind of redecorate a little bit, and we're going to make an entirely new blade out of carbon steel, and we're going to refit it to these handles, and we're going to have a new, unbroken folding knife.
The design of the folding and locking mechanism on this knife is not at all complicated. It's a frame lock. Now the tricky part is going to be ensuring that our tolerances on the new blade are extremely tight so that there's no play. We want everything to lock up nice and tight.
There we go. Pretty simple. I just set my calipers to the thickness that we're going to need, because we have to match this thickness on this knife. If we don't, then the knife's not going to click and fold properly, and that's going to create an issue. So basically from the top of here to here, that'll give me plenty of room. I'll make it a little bit bigger. I got this idea because I have an uncle-in-law who gives me a bunch of knives. He goes to like airports and stuff and buys knives by the loads. And every now and then he's gotten some serious collectors, like some Chris Reeves. He paid like $5 for the box. The Chris Reeves knife is worth like $500. So they just didn't know what it was, and it's in a box. I get all these knives. Like this one right here this is actually a really nice poker.
I know it was the guy's own fault for bringing the knife to the airport, but scale of 1 to 10, how mad would you be if they confiscated a $500 knife off you?
I would probably lose it. Like,
how much prison time would you do over that?
500 years. $1 a year for every dollar of the knife they took. So now we're going to flatten it out, and remember, we're going to use this as our kiss block. I'm just going to set this in here where it goes next to these, and then I'm going to lay the knife in here and just press it down until it gets the same thickness. We got to match this backside. And one of the ways we're going to do this is with steel dicum. Other cool pro tip, like 19 bucks on Amazon, you can get these carbide tipped glass cutter pens, and they work great for scribing steel, hardened steel, and all sorts of things, and I really like them. Makes it a whole lot easier for tracing things. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is place my knife in here and figure out where I want the tip to stop. For me, I don't want the tip to cut through this little bitty lanyard hole. I got a cool little lanyard kind of hidden off away I'd like to put in there, and I don't want this cutting the string. Pretty basic. So, taking my cool scribe, I'm going to mark just right here on this corner, so I know where to start the back of this piece right here. The blade is the important part, because the blade is what sinks into the handle here. The spine can stick out. Look, I mean, we got infinite amount of free space up here. So I'm going to clamp it tight right here and then just trace out what I need. So I've got my knife laid out where I want to grind the marks I want to make. So now what we're going to do, we're going to carefully grind out every last one of these little spots, just getting ever so close to the line. I went ahead and pre-drilled the hole for the pin, so that way we can go ahead and start mocking it up as we're grinding away. And we're going to grind away the overall profile first, and then we're going to just start playing with some fitment. Once we get the fitment down where we want it, we're going to bevel the knife and we're going to heat treat it. So I didn't take off all I could right here. I left just a hair. And what this is going to allow me to do is during fitment, I'll be able to go back over here and clean this up as we're sitting here working on it, making sure it opens and closes. And we can just come back and clean this up until it closes perfectly.
Just filing it smooth?
Yeah. Nothing special.
Nice smooth open?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna convince my wife to watch what is it called?
Downton Abbey.
No, that movie where the dude walks up and shoots the guy in the face.
Oh, Open Range.
Open Range. I'm gonna convince her to watch Open Range.
Oh
for
my
Father's
gosh,
Day.
that's the best scene. It's a love story. Because he has a crush on some girl.
Well, then there you go. That'll work.
Yeah.
I'll tell her that, and then he'll walk up and shoot the guy in the face, and she'll be like, ah! I just put the sharpening notch in like they have here. Okay, we just gotta, oops. Oops. Not what you need to say when you're making a folding knife. We just gotta, oops. No, we just gotta oversize the hole a little bit. Extremely precisely. Some precision, right?
Hey!
I think that that's good. I'm just gonna run a polish through it. Oh yeah, dude. That's perfect. Our tilt table is what we use to predominantly put bevels on our production knives, because when you have a nice flat surface like you have here, you can press the knife against the tilt table, count the number of passes, and you get a nice even edge down the center. So we're gonna grind in the bevels, do one full fit up, then we're gonna go to the heat treat, clean it up, put an edge on it, test it. Okay, so there's the first issue. Not back here, right here though. Otherwise it's not going to fit, that one's not going to fit in the hole. Oh, I see now too. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the flat spot on the screw. Does that play in?
Yep. Puzzle masters. Is this the main screw for this hole?
Yeah, the big one.
Well, that's encouraging. Look at that.
Yeah.
So right now, it operates, but it doesn't lock because, as you can see right there, it's a little bit bigger. Now this is the reason I left it fat, because if it was too thin, it'd be too loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with my handy dandy scratch, and I'm just going to mark, touch this piece here, and just mark a faint line that I want to grind to. And the best sound in the world.
Yeah, make sure your speakers are up.
Yeah, turn your speakers up for this. ASMR. Are you getting tingling sensations?
I'll spare you the tedium of all the filing and the fart jokes that came along with it, but it continued on like this for quite a while. Put it together, test it, take it back apart, file it some more fart jokes, on and on. Until we were finished. We got it. Did it just lock open?
I think it did. Hang on, I gotta put the rest of the screws in. But look at that, it's locked open. What kind of material do you think this is?
Can you get a finish like that on stainless?
You can. I think it's just tumbled. I'm asking because I was thinking about doing something to the handle. So there we are. Nice and closed, sets in. Locked. I'm going to do a little bit of final sanding around the edges here, around the top here and the spine. Get the lines going the same direction, make it look clean. We're going to heat treat it, and then we're going to give it our Brackin Blades flare. It's all nice and cleaned and polished. It's time to do the scary thing. go quench it. It's a really tiny knife. So we're going to go through our exercising cycles of the steel, help the grain structure relax, slowly increasing the grain structure consistency throughout the temperature ranges before we start normalizing. I had somebody reach out to me and ask me to go more in depth. We do have a Patreon channel. We're going to be releasing more and more tutorial videos on there, and this is where we're going to release that video. Got it out of the quench. It's definitely hard. Skates a file excellently.
So you might have to, at some point, rebuild the handle, but you'll never have to rebuild the blade.
Yeah. You have a forged blade here. Now we're going to temper it. We're going to do a torch temper. And we're just going to heat along the edge, check it with a laser, get it to the temperature range that we want, call it good. Excellent.
This stippling on the handle has turned out to be quite controversial. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you hate it, rip us a new one. If you love it, buy it.
Thing's a razor. Alright, we need to find some stuff to cut. ASAP. Let me go in the house. So we bouged up our knife, made it look pretty, signed it, did some cool engraving on the end. This thing is sharp, like a razor. Got my bougie coconut water. Let's test the knife. Wow.
Hidden artery.
Here's a sharp knife. If it's gonna fly through the orange like that.
Yeah, I was actually expecting you to just punch the bench as hard as you could by accident.
I've gotten better as the more videos we've made. You know, that would have been hilarious. It probably broke my finger. Is your camera waterproof?
No.
Okay.
And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Hit us up if you have any questions. We love hearing from our little knifers.